INFJs are well known for their imaginative and visionary thinking, as well as their profound concern for the well-being of others. Yet, they frequently report feeling misunderstood and alone. However, there is one trait that contradicts their reputation for being kind and caring. This trait manifests itself in them whenever they believe they have been duped. The INFJ door slam is the name given to this technique. What is it, and is there a way to reverse it? Keep watching to learn everything there is to know about the INFJ door slam. One of the 16 personality types identified by Myers-Briggs is called an INFJ. This acronym stands for introversion, intuition, feelings, and judgment. Because this group accounts for only 1 to 2% of the population, it is widely assumed that they are the least common of all MBTI personalities. INFJs are compassionate people who enjoy lending a helping hand to others, yet they are reserved and do not open up quickly to new acquaintances. When it comes to building trust with others, an INFJ must put in a lot of work. Once they do, though, they are able to contribute a lot to other people and put a lot of effort into learning what makes them tick. When an INFJ man or INFJ female does invite someone in to share their most private ideas and goals with them, it results in an experience that is intense and profound in a way that is quite distinct from that of other people. An INFJ does not have a healthy reaction to disappointment because of all of the personality qualities that they possess. Therefore, they experience a great deal of pain whenever someone they care about, such as a member of their family or a relative, betrays them in some way. If the other person's actions were so severe or destructive, an INFJ can experience great feelings of wrath and hatred toward them. INFJs only slam the door or cut people out of their lives when they feel terribly injured. When they can no longer withstand the harmful effects of a person, they have the ability to cut them off. If you are the person who has had the door slammed in your face, it is because your INFJ friend, family member, or partner felt that there was no other way to stop the mental and emotional anguish that you were causing them, because there was no other way to stop the emotional anguish that you were causing them. You may not have had any malicious purpose when you caused an INFJ to experience pain, but the fact remains that they are experiencing it, and it is not going away anytime soon. Those who have the INFJ personality are more open and sensitive to the deeds and words of those in their immediate environment. INFJs, in comparison to other personality types, require more robust emotional support, a greater degree of harmony, and a reasonable level of give and take in their relationships in order to not only feel comfortable, but also flourish. Even though INFJs are patient and forgiving when it comes to the flaws of others, they even have a breaking point when it comes to their own tolerance levels. An INFJ will extricate themselves from an unhealthy relationship in order to preserve their sanity if the state of the relationship deteriorates and becomes emotionally taxing. They only resort to slamming the door as a final measure. INFJs have the potential to become extremely intense in the face of betrayal and have the ability to make others truly regret betraying them. The door slam for the INFJ. The term INFJ door slam is used to describe a scenario in which an INFJ, who is also known as lone wolf, abruptly eliminates a person from their life without providing a reason. INFJs have a propensity to experience this door slam more frequently and intensely than other personality types. This is not unique to INFJs, since other personality types also engage in it. The majority of the time, an INFJ who has been betrayed will withdraw and sever all ties with the person who betrayed them. They will also make an effort to extricate themselves from the painful situation and will take precautions to protect themselves from experiencing pain in the future. Also, an INFJ will need some time to grieve the loss of that relationship because, for an INFJ, a major act of betrayal is like the death of a loved one. In certain circumstances, an INFJ could have little choice but to maintain communication with the individual who deceived them. This typically takes place when an INFJ is put in a position where they are unable to entirely door slam someone because of the circumstances. For instance, this could be a member of their family who they see primarily at significant family events. It is possible to refer to this type of limited contact as an emotional door slam. In this scenario, the INFJ guy and the INFJ lady will courteously tolerate the presence of the other person but will restrict their interactions with that individual. An INFJ will cut off a person's access to their genuine inner feelings and thoughts if they feel that person has violated their trust. This happens when an INFJ is hurt by the actions of someone in whom they had placed their confidence. To put it another way, when they are with this person, they will stop being vulnerable and instead erect barriers between themselves and their authentic selves in order to protect themselves from getting harmed. Unfortunately, the other person might not even notice that their acquaintance has slammed the door in their face in these situations. In circumstances in which the individual can be fully severed from their lives, the slamming of the door is typically more dramatic, to say the least. This could be the case when an INFJ ends a relationship with their spouse, or when they have a disagreement with a person whom they previously regarded as a close friend. If an INFJ has feelings of betrayal in this scenario, they may slam the door in the other person's face by severing all communication with them, unfollowing them on all of their social media sites, and not even making an effort to spend any time with them. It is said that a truly wounded INFJ not only despises the person who betrayed them, but also reduces that person to the status of nothing in their eyes. This is the viewpoint of psychologists. In addition to this, they might take an action that is even more upsetting, such as removing absolutely any evidence of the other person's existence. For instance, if they end their relationship with their partner, they might gather up any mementos, gifts, photographs, or notes that they have exchanged with that person and either throw them away or bury them. As part of their door slamming process, INFJs will essentially make it a goal to get rid of anything and everything that even remotely reminds them of the person who betrayed them. It could appear extreme to outsiders or those with other personality types to cut off contact with someone who was formerly a close friend of theirs. On the other hand, this is not the case for INFJs because the slammed door is the result of something that has been building up for a considerable amount of time. Will an INFJ be able to open the slam door? Depending on the situation, an INFJ who has been betrayed may or may not decide to open a door that they had closed. How an INFJ chooses between these two options will depend on a number of things, such as their current situation. In order for an INFJ man or an INFJ woman to be allowed to open the room, they need to have solid and unwavering faith that the other person will no longer harm them. For them to open up to them once more, they need to have unwavering faith that the other person is sorry for the suffering they caused and understands the reasons why their actions were so harmful. First of all, the other person who allegedly lied to the INFJ needs to make a firm decision to change how they act around the INFJ. If each of these circumstances is met, the INFJ may be able to mend and turn back the clock on the door being slammed in their face. There is no such thing as a perfect person, and INFJs are no exception. It is possible for them to overreact or slam the door too quickly. Because people with this personality type have a tendency to bottle up their emotions rather than confront them head-on while they are still manageable, the problem tends to fester and become more serious than it should have been in the first place. Because INFJs typically don't let on that they are suffering in the first place, the person on the opposite side of the situation may feel as though they have been taken by surprise and may even be unclear about what they did wrong. Therefore, if you are an INFJ, it is essential that you have an honest discussion about the issue with the person you care about and convey how you feel about it. You also need to take into consideration the possibility that you played a role in the conflict or that you may wish to improve the boundaries that you have in place. On the other hand, the pain that an INFJ experiences as a result of a betrayal can sometimes be so intense that they do not wish to reopen the door, go back over those emotions, or let the other person back into their life again. Because INFJs, similar to other sensitive introverts, have a tendency to sometimes attract egotistical, toxic, or even emotionally needy people, this particular scenario calls for slamming the door shut, and it is absolutely justified to do so. The rationale for that final line of reasoning is that INFJs are driven by a strong desire to assist other people and make the world a better place. Because they are so sensitive to other people's feelings, they can see what each person's true potential is and teach them how to reach that potential. INFJs are cheerleaders of progress and self-development, and they are naturally driven to assist others in working through personal or emotional difficulties so that they can live their best lives. As a result, INFJs can be found in positions of leadership in organizations, businesses, and communities. This trait is ingrained in their own nature. In fact, an INFJ may unconsciously become friends with or date a person who is in need of being saved. If the relationship was emotionally abusive or physically violent, if being close to the person was hard on your emotions, and if the door should always be closed, then the door will stay shut. The same is true in the event that the individual is an INFJ who slammed the door on someone who cheated, deceived, manipulated, or otherwise took advantage of their kind nature. Remember that the words you speak to an INFJ truly matter, as does how you treat them, if you want to avoid having an INFJ slam the door in your face. This is the best method to avoid having an INFJ slam the door in your face. INFJs have a need to have the sense that their genuine feelings and emotions are being acknowledged and respected. Understanding and emotional intelligence take precedence over everything else for them, and they place a high value on justice and equilibrium in all of their relationships. If you show someone with the INFJ personality type compassion and respect, then the door will always be left open for you. Has an INFJ ever slammed the door in your face, or have you ever slammed the door in the face of another person? Leave your thoughts here. As always, like and share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more updates on psychology. This is all for today's video. Thanks for your time. Tell us in the comment section where you are watching us from. See you in the next one. Take care.